reproductive health. So this is actually a very small chapter, but still this has got a lot of potential, because you'll get a lot of one words from this chapter. Okay, so now in this chapter what we'll be learning is that, okay, how can you naturally control how can you naturally control pregnancy? What are the methodologies which we are following these days? And of late, the main problem now is the infertility, correct? So how can we treat infertility? What are all the modes which we all what are all the ways by which we can treat the infertility? When are we supposed to approach? What are all the techniques in the infertility clinics? So about all that we'll be seeing. Okay, first and foremost thing is that you have to know about birth rate and mortality rate. Mortality rate is nothing but your death rate. Okay, so birth rate and death rate. So these two are the main factors which are ending up in a population explosion. Okay, if you consider the earlier days, okay, there the birth rate, okay, was little less compared to the death rate. Okay, death rate was high because we didn't have proper medical facilities those days. Okay, and mostly when the mother is delivering a baby itself, the mother will end up dying because of the poor medical facilities. Okay, so birth rate was little lower than that of the death rate in the older days. But of late, now with the advancements in the medications and other things, the death rate started going very down. Okay, and birth rate remained high. Okay, so when these things, see, when people are being born and when the death of them is being reduced, then what happens is that there'll be a huge rise in the overall population, correct? That is called as population explosion. The population, the crowd, the number will be like growing very exponentially. Okay, see, whatever abnormalities, whatever disorders we have, we can cure it these days, correct? But earlier days, that it was not the scenario. I still remember earlier days they used to die for pneumonia and all, typhoid. So small diseases which is very common these days, that used to kill people those days. Okay, so that is why with the advancements in the medical things and all, the death rate has become very less. The death rate is like drastically reduced. Okay, and birth rate has increased. So how can we naturally see, if you can't, just because the death rate is reduced, the population should not keep on increasing, correct? So you should have a proper check on the birth rate. So how can you check? See, for example, once if the family is done giving birth to 2 children, they have to undergo family planning, which the government is emphasizing these days. Okay, and apart from that, how can we naturally prevent the pregnancy? Okay, so these are all the things which we're going to see now. To control, see, we have to naturally control the population, correct? So rather than aborting an embryo after formation, you can take precautions so that the embryo itself is not formed. So we're going to see the steps by which you can naturally avoid the pregnancy. Okay, so this has got many steps. First thing is that we're going to see the natural method. Okay, so in natural method, the first and foremost thing is that you call it as periodic abstinence. Periodic abstinence. What is this periodic abstinence? Is that when will the embryo be formed? Is that only when the fertilization is happening, when the woman is ovulating. Okay, see, ovulation happens, you must, okay, the first and foremost thing is that periodic abstinence. So as I told you, the women during a course of a cycle, initially she'll be growing her eggs, okay, and in the mid of a cycle she'll be releasing the eggs. That is called as ovulation. Only after the release of the eggs, when sperms are coming in contact, fertilization will happen and embryo will be formed. Okay, so if you avoid intercourse, if one is avoiding intercourse during that ovulatory period, that is, if at all there is a cycle of 28 days, 14th to 15th day will be ovulation. So if the intercourse is avoided between 10th day till 16th day on the safer side, then the chances of formation of embryo itself is very less. Okay, so you have to avoid intercourse or the contact during the ovulatory period, so that you can actually avoid the embryo formation. That is called as periodic abstinence. Next is that this is called as coitus interruptus. Coitus interruptus is that, see, when during the intercourse, okay, you know the male copulatory organ is nothing but your penis, okay. So what happens is that when the male is about to ejaculate the semen into the female reproductive tract, the coitus is nothing but the intercourse. It should be interrupted so that the semen is not deposited so in the female reproductive tract. So this will help in preventing the fertilization, and you can avoid the formation of embryo. Okay, so when the men is about to ejaculate the semen to the female genital tract, when the coitus is interrupted, that will naturally prevent the pregnancy. So third method is that it's called as, this is seen in pregnant women, lactational amenorrhea. Okay, what is this lactational amenorrhea? Amenorrhea is absence of menstrual cycle. Okay, lactational is when the woman is feeding the baby. Okay, so the pregnant woman, after giving birth to the baby, okay, she will not be able to, that is, to set all her hormonal levels back and to get back on the track, it takes time. Okay, so roughly about 6 months, this is just a tentative timing, but roughly around 6 months, the women will not be able to ovulate properly. So that time, at that moment when the intercourse is there, it is not going to affect. Okay, so that's called as lactational amenorrhea. So these are all the three methodologies in which you can naturally prevent the formation of embryo. So apart from that, you have many other methods, so which we'll be seeing one by one. I repeat: periodic abstinence, avoid intercourse during the ovulatory phase, coitus interruptus, pull out the male copulatory organ, lactational amenorrhea, the pregnant mother will not be able to menstruate. So in that 6 months, it is called a safe period where there will not be any formation of embryo. Okay. Next technique which we are going to see is the use of cervical caps, etc. These are all the external devices. Okay. So condoms, valves, and cervical caps are the external. It is not natural. Obviously, they're supposed to use it during the intercourse. This condoms are for men, and valves and cervical caps are for women. Okay, so that the sperm and ovum is not meeting, and you can avoid the unwanted pregnancy. Okay, so these are all the methods wherein you can get these in a local shops, and these are all the methods which is not natural, but still it helps us in the prevention of the unwanted pregnancy. Third is that IUDs. IUD stands for intrauterine device. Okay, IUD stands for intrauterine device. So as it says intrauterine, uterine in the sense inside the female. So what happens is that inside the female, they will place, or they will implant a small T-shaped structure, copper T-shaped structure. Okay, so this will fit into the uterus of the female. Okay, now what happens is that this copper, okay, will help in phagocytosis of the sperm. So through vagina, those sperms enter. This copper T will actually will bring down the movement of the sperm, and also it will reduce the it will reduce the speed of the sperms, and it will also phagocytosis the sperm. Okay, so this copper T is a very useful. So if a woman is not planning to conceive for few months or few years, okay, then this method can be used. See, this is a temporary method wherein you can use for 1 cycle or 2 cycles. This is again a temporary method. So for 2 or 3 years I don't want to conceive, then I can go for this method. Okay, so this copper will phagocytosis the sperm, and it will bring down the sperm movement. So this is called as IUDs. So this is placed inside the uterus through laparoscopy technology. Okay, so they'll place it and it will remain for few years. So once they want to conceive again, they'll take this off and it will all be restored. Okay, and then fourth method is that implants. Then IUDs, implants will act as a birth control agent for longer time. Okay, so for example 6 or 7 years I don't want to conceive at all, then what happens, they can go for implant. Implant is nothing but a small chip which is placed in under your dermal layer. Okay, so what happens is that they constantly produce the hormones, that is nothing but the progesterone and estrogen. Okay, so that will actually hinder the formation of the embryo. Okay, production of your progesterone and the estrogen, mainly progesterone, okay. So that will hinder the formation of the embryo. So this will last for longer time. Mostly implants are placed under your skin, okay, armpits, skin, okay, wrist, etc. So those places, they'll place the implants, okay. And next method is that by using contraceptive pills. Contraceptive pills are nothing but, they're again the tablets which has got mainly the main content is that progesterone and estrogen. Okay, let me ask you a question. Progesterone, as you all know, it is a pregnancy hormone, correct? So it supports pregnancy. So how can that be used in contraceptive pills wherein for the women who don't want to conceive at all? It is going to support pregnancy. So how can that help in supporting the women? What ways how does it work? Thing is, progesterone will help in growing, progesterone will help in development of the embryo, correct? So only after the formation of the embryo, it helps in development of the embryo. But before the formation of the embryo, if the progesterone levels are raised, that will reduce the process of ovulation. I repeat, okay, after the formation of the embryo, the high progesterone levels will help in growing the embryo. You all know that once the woman conceives, okay, her menstrual cycle is stopped. How was it stopped? Because of the high levels of progesterone. So for a pregnant woman, it's well and good, okay. So it is supporting the embryo. But for the non-pregnant women, if you give more amount of progesterone, what happens is that it will induce the ovulation, okay. It will induce the egg production, which helps in acting as a contraceptive method, okay. So that is why we use progesterone and estrogen combination for the contraceptive pills, okay, fine. So in the case of this unwanted pregnancies, like some rape cases or anything, if the victim is conceived because of the crime, what happens is that within 72 hours, okay, they are supposed to give her the contraceptive pills, because that is the only method which we have in hand, because these are the things which will avoid the formation of the embryo. This is also the same, this is also the same. But contraceptive pills, once the embryo is formed also, when we take the pills, it will be aborted. So this is the method which is adopted for the rape victims and all. But this is to be done within 72 hours of the crime. After that, it is little difficult, okay. And this contraceptive pills, I think women are supposed to take it throughout the month for the entire 24 days, except for the menstruating cycle, entire thing they are supposed to take the pills, so that they can avoid the unwanted pregnancies, okay. So these are all the temporary methods which we've seen. But there is a permanent method that is nothing but tubectomy. I hope it's clear. One second. It is tube. Tube stands for your fallopian tube. Tubectomy and vasectomy. Okay, so vasectomy and tubectomy are the permanent methods. Okay, so these procedures are done, the individual cannot reproduce. Okay, they cannot reproduce at all. So what happens in tubectomy is that they will cut the fallopian tube. So when fallopian tube is cut, what happens is that, see, if this is your uterus, correct? So and this is your egg, correct? So from here, after the release of egg, it is picked up by the finger-like projections, and then it is carried down here, and then here implantation happens. When I cut this tube and when I seal it off, okay, what happens is that the egg cannot reach the uterus. So pregnancy can never happen. The women will ovulate, but she cannot become pregnant because the tubes are cut and sealed. Okay, so this is what is done in tubectomy. In vasectomy, what happens is that, if you can recall the male reproductive system, your vas deferens, okay, vas deferens is cut so that sperms, though they are produced, it will not reach the male copulatory organ. Okay, so vasectomy and tubectomy are the two methods, which these are the surgical methods. So they will In family planning, they'll do this only. These are all the surgical methods in which the tubes are sealed or the vas deferens is sealed so that the gametes are not traveling and reaching the target source so that you can avoid the pregnancies forever. Okay, so this is what is done. See, if you ask me, ma'am, if at all a woman underwent a tubectomy, will she have a menstrual cycle? Yes, she will have a menstrual cycle. Why? Because only the egg is not reaching here, but your endometrial lining is all shed monthly. Clear? Only this is not reaching here, but the endometrial lining is actually eventually shed. Okay, so she will have her monthly cycle. But if at all this uterus is removed, she will not have a cycle at all. If at all there's an infection in the uterus or something, then she will not have her menstrual cycle at all. So these are all the methods which has been adapted. So you have many good pills, contraceptive pills like Saheli. Saheli is a natural pill. Okay, with this extract has got the supplement of your progesterone itself. So which is very good. Okay, so Saheli is a drug which is being used. Likewise, there are many natural drugs which are being used. Clear? So by all these methods, one can avoid the pregnancies temporarily or permanently. Okay, so this is all about the how we can avoid the pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies.